Hello everybody. Today we're on the hacker known as 4chan. And today we're gonna talk about the infamous THOT Hunter. So this video is going to chronicle the tale of the THOT Hunter, a man on Twitter who claims that he was joining OnlyFans so that he could, and I quote, get women off of OnlyFans. Now this is an interesting tale. It's one that 4chan, the hacker, the infamous flag finder, has been talking about for a long time. And I find this tale very interesting. We're going to take a look at two very large threads covering these chronicles. Here you can see, Anonymous says, THOT's OnlyFans content shared with their dads. Some extremely base dude is pretending to be a simp, get photos from OnlyFans, and sends them to the THOT's fathers. It's effing hilarious. He should be our role model. Now here's a screenshot of the so-called tweet, and here you see a user called Intellectual Wilhelm. Now moving forward, we will keep all of the identities of the OnlyFans users a secret for their own protection. I will censor all that information. I'm not going to censor Wilhelm because he is the subject of this video. The so-called THOT Hunter, as one Anin so vividly described. Here he says, so check this out, y'all. I created a fake page and went undercover as a simp. And for those of you who don't know, a simp is short for a sucker, idolizing, mediocre punani. I think you know what punani is, aka it's another word for cat. But the simple explanation is that a simp is a sucker idolizing mediocre women. You see a lot of simps use websites like OnlyFans. Now OnlyFans is a place where women can post lewd photos and men give them money for these lewd photos, for these lewd videos. Nudes and lewds, that's what it's all about. And we have a generation of these lonely, pathetic loser men who throw their money at women. So he went undercover as a simp. And he goes on to say, let's just say, these women are about to learn a lesson about participating in online sex work. And then he has a bunch of hashtags talking about ending OnlyFans and the whole business model of buying and selling lewd material, lewd videos, lewd images. Now, I've got to be honest, I can kind of see where he's coming from, although I do not condone his actions. As we're going to see, he may go a little bit too far. But before we get into this interesting story, a quick word from this week's sponsor.
Zuck the cuck drinks water like a duck, but he also drinks your data. So tell him and Google to shove your data up their schwing-schwangs by downloading the Brave browser. It's free, blocks online advertising, and protects your privacy and data from evil tech companies. You only see ads if you want to see them, and you get cryptocurrency for your attention. Don't let Zuck use you to make a buck. Download Brave by clicking on the link down below.
And we're back. So here we can see this tweet originally, and it is no longer available on Twitter. It was taken down. I believe he made a lot of people angry. A lot of people were mad that he was engaging in these activities on OnlyFans. But you can see that the tweet at the time had 2.7 thousand likes. Now, I want to point out that not everybody supports the THOT Hunter's actions. That's just what they were calling him. So, you know, that's just part of what I'm going to call him since I did not come up with a name. I just want to make that clear. It's simply what I'm going with because that's what other people were saying. So here's one Anon who disagrees. He says, absolutely disgusting. Poor girls just want to make some money. You mean want to take advantage of all of these lonely men by stringing them along and lying to them and manipulating them into emptying their wallets and ruining their lives? Well, I couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. Yeah, I really don't think it's as noble as Anon makes it. These women are taking advantage of a lot of lonely, sad men, a lot of which are probably mentally ill. You know, I've never met a simp who wasn't mentally ill, who wasn't a loser, who didn't need to get their life together. And instead of giving all their money to these women, you know, they could focus on self-improvement. But there was plenty of people who are extremely upset about the THOT Hunter's actions. Here you can see a Harriet Tubman's burner, LMAO. What does that even mean? Report him to the Philly police station. I retweeted the link on my page. Get him arrested. Now they're trying to arrest this guy. What exactly was he doing? Now here we see the following screenshot. I'm going to call the cops. You sick, bro? Oh my god. I'm about to lose it. Why would you do this? And he replies, going to the cops and tell them what exactly? LOL, I paid for your nudes and I sent them to your dad. That's not a crime. Once you sell them to me, they are my property. I can do with them as I please. I know your parents and decided to expose their baby girl. Let this be a lesson learned. Sex work is filth. Now, as far as I can tell, this guy, his whole goal seems to be to expose these OnlyFans users to their families in an effort to get them to quit OnlyFans. And on some level, I can understand this, but I just want to make this clear. I do not condone this man's actions. True that if you pay for these photos, you pay for these videos, you now own them. They are now your property. You're selling a product, because that's what OnlyFans is. It's a business. You're selling lewd material, but as soon as you sell that, it no longer belongs to you. Has he done anything illegal? I actually don't think so. But we're going to see that this all becomes gray, which is why I cannot support or condone these actions. Never do this. Never harass anyone. You know, even if they're an OnlyFans user, I don't think they should be harassed at all. Of course, I will criticize them, but again, I do not condone these actions. Now, not every OnlyFans user responded in the same way. You picked the wrong one. I'm sorry for what is about to happen to you. It's out of my hands now. Praying for you. You really shouldn't have done this.
I never should have come here.
You see me as just another defenseless little bee. But what you fail to consider is that some of us have fathers, uncles, and brothers with criminal records. Gee, maybe that's why you're in this line of work. Positive role models who aren't afraid to go back, especially to protect the ones they love. Your family is going to put you on t-shirts and angel wings. I couldn't stop them if I tried. I hope it was worth it. Praying for your mama. Now, not only does this screenshot have big dick energy, I'm really getting the, you know, the copy pasta like, what the F did you just say about me, you little bitch? I'll have you know I graduated top of my class in the Navy SEALs. And what I find most hilarious about this screenshot, because not only is she making like an indirect threat against this guy, I want to make something clear. She's not saying that she is gonna beat him up. She's saying, well, I have an uncle, I have a father, I have a brother, and they all have criminal records. And they're gonna beat you up. They're gonna come for you, bucko. You've tweeted your last tweet. I hope it was worth it. Ugh. I just find these threats so empty and so laughable. I think it's funny. So here's a really good comment by Anonymous. He goes on to talk about the psychology of OnlyFans and the psychology of simps. Here he says, OnlyFans is similar to cam girls, but instead of having to entertain an entire audience, remember everyone's names simultaneously. They can talk to each person individually. This increases their ability to create, or fake, a relationship with the simp. Of course, you don't get to talk to them at all until you've subscribed, so by the point things start, you've already given them money. You become invested. You are therefore psychologically encouraged to believe your investment was worthwhile. So if they're nice to you and act like a friend/girlfriend, maybe you can give them more money, and the sunk cost fallacy keeps building. Add this to personal videos of them saying your name, etc., etc., and you can see how this gets out of control. On the surface, OnlyFans seems like an odd thing to explode, but basically it's just the next level of women online taking advantage of young, lonely, and often wealthy men. Now he goes on to make a very interesting prediction. He says, ironically, quote unquote, THOTs are probably developing a system that will be taken over AI and androids in the future. Now this is a very interesting comment because we've already seen on other websites, projects like Project Melody are taking over. Project Melody was a virtual anime girl who basically took over a lot of cam websites. Insanely popular, made lots of money, and was expanding very rapidly. It was a huge success and a huge hit, and many of these women who worked on these websites were angry. So yeah, maybe one day it's all going to be AI. What an interesting prediction. Now, my opinion to anyone thinking of joining OnlyFans either as a content creator or as a simp, my advice is not to. The reason I made this video was to explain how this is one of the dangers of joining a platform like this. If you are a simp, you will be shamed, you will be laughed at, and everyone will think you are a loser. So don't do it. If you are one who wants to create content on a website like OnlyFans, there's a very good chance that people may find out. That includes your family. It will ruin your chances to get a real job. It'll ruin your respect. Look, there's a lot of people out there who think that it doesn't matter what job you do, you deserve respect. I'm sorry, but that's not how real life works. If people find out that you're on OnlyFans, they're probably not going to think, well, they're going to think what they think. And the last time I checked, this is America. People have the right to have their own opinions. You can't change that. So that's my advice. Just don't do it. But there is one more twist in this tale of the so-called THOT hunter. Some say he was not even real. Here you can see. Ron Horsley says, fake account. Troll is at Q_215. And the screenshots are mocked up. He hasn't blackmailed anyone. He's not an ex-pimp turned crusader. All of this is a Lamas FOD to drum up his own entertainment. So according to some people, Professor Wilhelm wasn't even a real person, and all these screenshots are fake. But who knows for sure? His account is no longer around. A lot of the people involved have gone into hiding. Maybe it did happen. Maybe this man really was out there trying to get people to quit OnlyFans. Or maybe he was just a mad, deranged man, forcing his beliefs on others. And maybe he's gonna face legal consequences. I don't really know for sure. Time will tell. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? The tale of the THOT hunter. And what do you think about this OnlyFans situation? And simps, be sure to let me know.
What the fuck did you just fucking say about me, you little bitch? I'll have you know I graduated top of my class in the Navy SEALs. I've been involved in numerous secret raids on